All right. All right. Just wanted to get on here and let you know that we are following this breaking news right now. Um, this is police responding. You can see that our news helicopter is over the scene of where police are responding to shots fired near Grady Hospital. So this is some breaking news that we're following here in our newsroom. This is near a parking garage that officers are on the scene of. Near again Grady Hospital. They are investigating shots fired. We are learning from the Atlanta Police Department Public Affairs Unit that there's not believed to be an active shooter. They do not believe there is an active shooter, nor any person shot or injured. So that's the good news. Some relief there. But again, they are investigating. Atlanta police are investigating the scene near a parking garage near the hospital. They're on scene right now. And I want to let you know that there has been an alert also put out by Georgia State. Let me see, just give me a moment. I'm just going to see if I can pull that up for us and show that to you. And we're just going to continue to show you this live look over the scene there so you can see what's happening. And, you know, if you're traveling in that area, obviously this is going to impact you. I also want to show you that this is our top story on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Encourage you to download our free mobile news app if you haven't done that yet, because that's going to get you any alerts that you need to know to stay up to date with what's going on. Let me show you the helicopter image again so you can see. I would assume that those are investigators because it does look like they're carrying something in their arms there. And we do know that their focus has been near this parking garage close to Grady Hospital. Again, there's not believed to be an active shooter. Atlanta Police Department confirming to Atlanta News First. They do not believe there's an active shooter here. Nobody's been shot, nobody's been injured, but they're investigating a series of shots fired near a parking garage close to Grady Hospital. That's a situation. It's concerning because of the location. I do want to share with you this tweet that we see from Georgia State University, just putting out this alert, GSU alert. As you can see, it says, I should call it an X now because it's now X, it's not Twitter. Atlanta police activity at Grady Hospital, shot fired, stay clear of the area until further notice. That is the message from Georgia State University at this time. So you're just encouraged to avoid this area until further notice. Our news team working to gather more information about this, but it does appear, you know, we do know that officers have been on scene investigating. You know, this looks to be them. This appears to be them looking at the scene and just investigating, again, where these shots may be coming from and why. And just want to make sure, you know, like I've shared with you this tweet from Georgia State University asking you to stay clear of this area until further notice. And to take it a step further, I do want everybody to know that there are several streets in this area closed. You know, we have a crew headed to the scene, and obviously we have this helicopter over the scene And they're focused on the scene itself. At this moment, they're not looking around at what streets are closed and all that. But that's the kind of information that we're working to get you, so we can let you know as you plan your route. But if you can avoid that Grady Hospital area, you are encouraged to do so, because investigators really need their space to conduct their investigation. Obviously, when you have reports of shots fired in a high traffic area, especially near the hospital, it's of a lot of concern, right? So that's why they are looking into this. But again, Atlanta police saying at this time it's not believed that there is an active shooter. They do not have reports of anyone shot or injured, but it is very concerning. They want to make sure that it is safe for everyone. So they do have investigators on scene looking into this, looking into these reports of shots being fired there. And like you can see, we have our helicopter flying overhead, our news helicopter, and we have crews on the ground also working to get to that area and gather more information as well. So you should anticipate a traffic impact if you are planning to be in or around that area. Obviously, ask to avoid that area around Grady Hospital, and give investigators their room, and also for safety, for your own safety as well, because we know that there were shots fired. So our news team just working our sources, working to gather more information about this. But again, the investigation's underway, so there's still a lot of questions that Atlanta police are trying to answer. Just showing you how the traffic is flowing there, and I understand that Atlanta police have put out a tweet about this. I'm working to pull that up. All right, so we are continuing to keep our news helicopter over the scene of where police are investigating, Atlanta police are investigating reports of shots fired. And Atlanta police are saying that, they do not believe that there is an active shooter. So that's the good news. No reports of any injuries here. Excuse me. But this is something that we're going to continue to watch. You can see it's very active here. But, excuse me, I'm going to step away for just a moment. Working to gather more information. I'm going to keep the shot up so you can see what's happening with our news helicopter. All right, so um, continuing to follow the situation of these. So okay, so you can see there's still a lot of activity here at this parking deck, which is near Grady Hospital. Police responding to shots fired there. They have shared that they do not believe there's an active shooter. There's no evidence to support the belief that there's an active shooter. They are also saying no. At this time, they don't know of anyone shot or hurt, but obviously a lot of concern they because of the shots fired here. You can see the blue lights. You can see officers gathered. Looks like they're talking to. It looks like there may be at least one plainclothes individual. Now our news helicopter staying over the scene, but moving off of it just a little bit. Um, but Atlanta police are saying they do not have an active shooter at Grady Hospital right now. This is a tweet. They are saying shots were fired, but no persons were hit, and they are still on scene investigating. Yeah. Excuse me.
All right, everybody. Maria Amro here, joining you from the First Alert Desk. I want to get you caught up if you're just jumping in on this live stream with the latest of what we know. Again, this is an evolving situation, but we have been told that authorities are responding to a shots fired call near Butler Street, specifically on the Butler Street parking deck at Grady Hospital. Now, I want to clarify there is no community concern over an active shooter. Police simply have told us that they are responding to a shots fired call. Authorities, of course, responding to the scene. They have told us that multiple vehicles were damaged by gunfire. The current investigation at this time and what we know of those details, again, as this situation is evolving, we are in the middle of active breaking news. So as soon as we learn anything, any new information, we will relay it to you on here and move through this situation with you. But important to note that this is a shots fired call investigation that authorities are responding to. They said that was involving multiple people who are known to each other, and they are actively looking through the area to locate all the individuals that were involved in this. Multiple cars were damaged by gunfire. Right now, this still remains a shots fired call, not an active shooter threat, and no persons were hit at this time. So that's the latest from APD. I'm going to work on pulling up some information from the Atlanta Police Department. They've been putting out details onto their Twitter. Of course, we're keeping in touch with them every step of the way. Any responding authorities, we're checking in, and our crews are in the area as well, just talking to these investigators, trying to get the latest on what the situation is at this time. But right now, an active investigation into a shots fired call. Multiple cars have been damaged by gunfire, by those shots, but we are told no one has been hit at this time. All right, I'm going to take a second here before I pull it up. If you hear the typing in the background, I'm pulling up Atlanta Police Department's Twitter. Here it is. There you are. So, PSA, a clarification, because there's been a lot of community concern from the Atlanta Police Department. We do not have an active shooter at Grady Hospital right now. Shots were fired and no one was injured. No one was hit. And Atlanta Police are investigating at this time. So, to backtrack a little bit, give you a little bit of background, this call came in at 1:17. Atlanta Police did respond to that parking garage area, that Butler Street parking deck I told you, near Grady Hospital. That is along Jesse Hill Jr. Drive in Southeast Atlanta, to a shots fire call. That is what they are actively investigating. They said that the people that were involved in that incident, they do believe they all know each other, and they're looking in this area at this time for all of the individuals involved. So the latest from this, I'm going to scroll down here so you can see Atlanta Police putting out information on Twitter. Of course, we're in communication with them, but officers responding to the scene where multiple vehicles were hit by gunfire. No person at this time, from what we're told by Atlanta Police, has been hit or struck, I should say, by that gunfire, but they are actively looking for those involved in that incident that happened just after 1 o'clock. Again, we are following this. This is an active investigation. I do believe we just lost our Atlanta News First chopper shot, but here's the street where this is at, and this is a simple Google search here. I'll pull this up for you so you can kind of see that. You see, this is Grady Memorial Hospital, and the Butler Street parking deck is right next to it, adjacent to it. So this is the parking deck area that they believe those shots were fired at, and this is kind of the surrounding area that they are canvassing. We're just searching, if we're gonna use normal human language, they're searching this area. This is the perimeter you're just going to want to avoid if you are someone who is planning to go to Grady or to use this parking deck. You can expect to have to find another area to park. This is right now the scene of an active investigation on Butler Street parking deck and the surrounding area. So Jesse Hill Jr. Drive southeast right here, Decatur Street southeast, Pratt Street, that entire perimeter surrounding area is where officers are believed to be at this time. So you just want to avoid it, whether you're a motorist or a pedestrian. All right, and I just stepped away to get a little bit of an update. The investigation into this area, that shots fired call I was just talking about, has is continuing to be ongoing. But at this time, Atlanta police have said there is no active shooter threat. They are simply searching the area for the individuals involved in this shots fired call. They did say that all of the individuals, or multiple of these individuals, they do believe know each other. So this at this time has become a standard investigation. We did lose our Atlanta News First chopper shot there, so I have this street view for you so you can kind of see the area. I can even change it up if you just want a more satellite version. This is the parking deck area near the Grady Memorial Hospital. This is where the active investigation is. So for my motorists out there, for pedestrians, really for people that interact with this area, this is near Georgia State University. You just want to avoid it as best as you can. Let police conduct their investigation. They are looking for people that are involved in this case, but there is no community threat believed to be any community threat at this time. So we'll keep you updated on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. That's where you can find the latest. And we can make it much more simpler for you than that. If you download the Atlanta News First app, we'll send notifications on developing stories, and this one specifically, directly to your phone. So any updates that impact you, you'll be notified with a ping. Easy as that. And of course, we'll keep you updated with the full story from our crews that are on scene on our newscast at 3. Make sure you tune in.